Hey guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing. Today we're going to look at Excelvan's PLA. Welcome back guys. Again, this is Excelvan PLA. This is a super cheap filament that you can buy on either eBay or Amazon. I got mine on Amazon several months ago. It's been in the queue to be reviewed. Now it's its turn. Let's check it out. The first really cool thing about this filament, it's two colors on one spool. I've heard good and bad things about this, but I wanted to see for myself on how it would turn out. It is very well packaged. It has a huge desiccant pack in there, which is very different. A lot of the companies use these really tiny ones, but this one uses a big one. And again, it is a ½ kilo of each type of filament, so 1.1 pounds per color. It comes in many colors, and I just happen to pick up the black and blue. Here on the side, Excelvan PLA, black and blue, 1.75 millimeters. Net weight, 1 kilogram. Speed, 500 to 100 millimeters a second. And its standard print temps, 190, 220 for PLA. It is a different spool than I've ever seen. That tells me that Excelvan has their own spool, which is very interesting. Let's cut it open. Again, here's the desiccant pack. And here is the spool. So these are actually wound really nice for I want to say this was $12, $13, something like that. It was something cheap. There will be links down below to purchase it if you want. There is a bit of play in the spool, so clearly these snap together to make this. But I mean, it's two colors on one spool. How bad could it be? Some people said it might wobble a little bit depending on your spool. I have pretty wide spool holders, so I don't think it'll be a problem. It would be cool if you could print both at the same time with a dual extruder, but you can't because they are not independent. I cannot move one side of the spool or the other. So you're still limited only printing with one of these. If you could, that would be amazing. Could you imagine that? Dual color printing with one spool? Mind blown right there. It would make the Chimera, what's that, the 4, or whatever the E3D's 4 filament, using just 2 spools to do 4 filaments. That would be insane. Absolutely insane. But that is the downfall of this. Again, the wind is great. Odor's not too bad. It's a decent spool. It's really nice. You can see how much you have left over. I really like that actually. Like, because all the other spools, you can't tell how much is left over. You kind of have to guess, there's about this much there. But here you'll be like, oh look, there's ½ inch around here still left. It's cool. So let's load this up on the printers. Let's get some prints, obviously get some time lapses, and we'll be back to talk in a few. Okay, so we're back and I've got a couple prints here. I have to say, first impressions, this filament, it came out really well. I am very surprised. You can see I used about half of each color, the black and the blue. I didn't do any large prints on the FT5 this time. I decided not to. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do this all on the Monoprice Select Mini, just to kind of give people out there a view of what kind of print you can expect off of this. None of these are out of this world, but they all came out extremely well. Okay, up first here we have the just octopus. So this has been revamped by, I think, Lulzbot to make the Rocktopus, but this is just it in its standard form. So you can see a little bit of the layers here, but again, that's just, you know, the Monoprice Mini. I didn't use one of the magic numbers for these. I completely forgot about it. I need to try to remember that. But I mean, this came out really well. I mean, great layer adhesion, first print without issue. Bottom layers just came out beautiful. And I mean, this was just a really, really nice print. I can't complain about this at all. So next up we have a low poly Darth Vader. And he comes in 3 pieces, but I can't get this nub out now. Once you stick it in there, it's pretty much in there. And so the head prints by itself, the little nub does, and he prints just like that. Stick his head back on there. I mean, looking at his cape, that all came out really, really nice. No real issues in that at all. Again, this was first print. I had a tiny bit of stringing here between the legs. I think I was just a smidge too hot for this one. I printed it at 210 just because I'm still trying to decide how the Monoprice Mini works out well with, you know, some of these longer prints. But he was a longer print. But I mean it came out just great. I mean, great filament here. There's some blue. So here's the Night Girl. And she prints with the sword. I didn't glue it on yet. Prints just like so. But the sword just gets pushed in here and use a little bit of super glue and it sticks it in there real good. But I'm just sticking in there right now like that. But here again, I mean, you can't really beat this. This is great quality. Little bit of banding in the belly. But I mean, it just, first print, stuck to the bed well. And this was all on the, again, the Monoprice Select Mini, which I have build tack on it. And this had no problem whatsoever sticking to build tack. This was a longer print. This one was, I think, 6 hours. Found this little guy. He's like a tiki chief, I think he is. The link will be down below for it, but this was just really cool. I liked him a lot. Came out really nice. It's like 10% infill in him. You can kind of see the infill in there a little bit. But again, I mean, this really came out great. There's no issues whatsoever with this filament. None at all. A little drooping here, but that's cooling. That's the part cooling fan not cooling it fast enough, but that's to be expected with most printers with this kind of print. But again, this was a no support print. None of these prints are actually printed with support. So it really, really does very well. Next we have this for my Nerf gun here. So this was just one, this was a really long print. This I think was 14 hours. And it came out really nice, super smooth walls. This actually was the nicest one of all of them, I think, just because of the sheer size. It took a little bit harder on the Select Mini for the small prints, but these big ones came out really nice. So again, bottom layer, something was on my bed there, it looks like. Yeah, a little bit of the black filament was left on the bed. But I mean, look at that bottom layer. Nice matte finish from the build tack. The sides here are great. But yeah, so the gun just fits down in there like so. Get it out, get some work done. Holds 6 darts. And again, I just printed this for fun. I didn't really need it, but I had the gun and I wanted to print some Nerf stuff, and none of it's actually really that great on Thingiverse. But this turned out okay. I like it. It'll sit on my desk like that, ready to shoot the kids. Ha ha ha. Okay, and then we have this little drawer set, which my daughter said I need some candy in there, so she put candy in there for me. Did she put it anywhere else? No. And no. Okay, so this was printed. If you watch the time lapse, I'm not sure if I'll include all these time lapse or not, but this double wide was printed by itself. It takes up most of the bed on the Select Mini. Then these 2 drawers were printed by themselves, and this was printed on its back like that. So again, nice flat matte finish on the bottom. That looks really nice. Something stuck on there. Sides came out really well. You can see the layers there, but they feel pretty doggone smooth. And inside looks really nice. There was a little bit of the pimpling, like in a layer. You can actually see it right here. I just take a putty knife and just go right down that real quick. You can use a screwdriver and that, but look at the bottom layer down there. See, look at that. That turned out really nice. It met up all the way to the ends, so you don't have these gaps in the side. This was a 10% infill, and it's still pretty heavy simply because it has all these walls, and it's fairly thick. I mean, these are probably what, 3 millimeters thick walls. But again, it's two perimeters, and it's like one slice every now and then because of the 10% infill. And there was no post-processing on these aside from, you know, zipping off those zits. They slide in. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I like it. So I gotta say, guys, this filament performed excellent. I mean, absolutely excellent. If I can, I plan on picking up a bunch more of this. I want to say it was maybe $15 a roll on Amazon. I'll find it and I'll put the links down below. These are going to be affiliate links, so please feel free to use those. It takes none of the price to you. There's no difference whatsoever. It just sends a little bit my way through like a commission. So everyone that uses those links, thank you very much for that. But this is great. I plan on picking more up. Having the dual color rolls, it didn't prove to be a problem at all. There was no wobbling or anything like that. I mean, maybe if you get way down there, but I honestly don't see that being a problem. It was a concern though. But two colors is kind of great because for those out there that don't need a full kilogram of one color, or it just takes you forever to go through a roll, why buy a kilogram when you can get two colors for 1 kilogram at a better price? Now, yes, there are filaments out there that are a great price, but I mean, having two colors for that price, again, half of each color, but still, this is quite a lot of filament to have just for, you know, this one spool, you know, and for one color, I should say. So this is just an all-around great value in my opinion. So I highly recommend this, and this might be a go-to filament for me. I'm going to pick up a few more colors of it, and I want to print, one of the main things I want to print is a little BB-8. So I do want to pick that up and we'll pick up some of this and print him in that, and we'll see how that goes. So that's it, guys. Again, highly recommend it, and links will all be down below for these items that I printed and where you can pick up this filament. If you guys liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit dislike, let me know why you didn't. If you want to support my channel, you did a couple ways. Right down here is going to be a link to subscribe. Right across over here, you're going to have Patreon. Donate me $1 more, I greatly appreciate it. You can use my affiliate links. So go ahead and check those out, update your bookmarks. All that money comes here to the channel, helps me build it, helps me buy filament like this, and I can review that here on the channel for you guys to see, and that way you know if it was a good purchase or not. Lastly, right down below me, there's going to be some videos. So the first one over here is going to be the playlist for all of the different filament reviews that I've done, and right over here is going to be a random video that I decided to put in there, probably my last video. So, hey guys, thank you, and as always, happy printing.